Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org. So you can't see this, but hopefully you can hear it. Behind every Boise State Public Radio podcast is a team working hard to bring you stories that matter. So if you value podcasts like this one, please support them. Hit donate at boisestatepublicradio.org. Thanks.
On a Friday, May 29th, it's The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Troy Oppie. Thanks for listening. Here are this morning's headlines. Federal money is on the way for Idaho's rural health providers. Plans to resume mining at a historic site near Silver City are moving forward. Plus, it's chip seal season on Treasure Valley roads. Power is back on for many customers who went dark yesterday as high winds and powerful storms pummeled southwest Idaho and eastern Oregon. Tree and some structure damage was spread across the region, though no injuries have been reported. There are still scattered locations across Boise without power this morning. Small outages are scattered across the north end, the Boise Bench, and elsewhere, plus a few small areas in Meridian are still without power. Restoration of service, according to Idaho Power, is expected later this morning. The storm appears to have touched off multiple brush and vegetation fires as well, which were all contained or under control by late yesterday. Not far from Kuna, a downed power line is thought to have started a fire which destroyed a barn and an unoccupied home and then spread to nearby vegetation. Brush fires also led to evacuations in Payette County yesterday, and strong winds pushed flames quickly near structures. Fires, though, were contained without any structure damage, according to fire officials, and firefighters near Melba were able to get quick control of a 68-acre brush fire there. Crews continue to battle the Summit Creek fire in Cassia County with both air and ground resources. Late Thursday, authorities updated the blaze to a smaller footprint, about 1,200 acres. They say the fire is now 10% contained. The Forest Service closure of most of that area remains in effect, including Oakley-Elba Pass Road and Forest Service land south to City of Rock State Park. Idaho medical providers may get their first bite at federal rural health grants as early as next week. Here's James Dawson with more.
State health officials say they just need a legislative committee to sign off on the first round of grants, which will focus on boosting maternal and child health in rural Idaho. The money comes from the more than $185 million Idaho got for its first year as part of the federal Rural Health Transformation Program passed last summer. The state health department says it's also ready to solicit bids for analysis and compliance contractors to prop up the program over the next 5 years. Kate Sapra, the acting director for the federal program, says these kinds of criteria are what her office will use when awarding states the next round of funding come October.
Do they have a good governance structure set up? Have they been able to obligate their funds?
She says the final 3 years of funding will be based on results.
Have the states been able to achieve concrete milestones in the implementation? What metrics have they been able to hit in terms of those health outcomes?
State health officials say they'll make grants available later this year for chronic disease prevention and mental health support. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
A 30-day public comment period is opening for feedback on plans to reopen a historic mining site in Owyhee County. The Delamar project would increase the size of a previous mining site near Silver City by more than 50%, with up to 3 open pits, multiple waste rock and heap leach facilities, and the necessary road improvements in the area to handle what could be nearly 2 decades of work to mine gold, silver, and other minerals still in the hills. The Bureau of Land Management is hosting 2 open house events, June 9th at the Lions Club in Jordan Valley and June 11th at the American Legion Hall in Marsing to answer questions and take public feedback. Written feedback may also be submitted through June 29th through the Delamar Project NEPA website. That's the National Environmental Policy Act review process. The BLM is in the feedback stage prior to the publication of a draft environmental impact statement. Additional public comment periods will be available, but the Delamar Project is among those being fast-tracked by the Trump administration for access to critical minerals. School's out for summer, but nutrition staff will be hard at work offering free meals for kids in many locations around the Treasure Valley. The West Ada School District begins its free breakfast and lunch at Meridian High School, the Northwest Point Apartments on 5 Mile Road, and Peregrine, Desert Sage, and River Valley Elementary Schools on Monday. There are nearly 10 other sites within the district boundary offering lunch for kids up to age 18. No registration is required, but note meals are not prepared to go. There's a full list of sites on the West Ada District website and social media pages. The Boys and Girls Club of Ada County is also offering free meals for kids this summer. Breakfasts and lunches at the Meridian and Mosley Center Club locations begin Monday. Meals at the Cuna Club location begin June 8th. Kids do not need to be club members to receive food. There's menus and more information online at adaclubs.org. And in the Magic Valley, the Twin Falls School District is providing free meals at multiple locations starting June 8th this summer. More details on the district's website. For meal options in your area, check with your local school district or visit the State Department of Health and Welfare's Community Resources page at healthandwelfare.idaho.gov. Happy chip seal season. The annual road maintenance work starts Monday in Ada County. The Highway District is working in Zone 7 this summer with 2 crews and 350 total miles of roads. Zone 7 is roughly the area between Eagle and 10 Mile and Chinden and Interstate 84, and then west of 10 Mile to the county line between Ustick and the interstate. Parking restrictions will be in place on streets for the chip seal work. ACHD has an interactive map for residents and travelers at achdIdaho.org/chipseal. In Nampa, chip sealing also begins on Monday. The city has 1 crew and planned work areas this summer in and around downtown and Old Nampa, and then south of Nampa High School between Midland and Highway 45. There's a map at cityofnampa.us/chipseal. And as long as we're talking about road work, a note for folks in Payette County. Resurfacing of Highway 95 between Payette and Fruitland begins on Tuesday next week. That's an Idaho Department of Transportation project. Crews will start in Payette and work south. The highway may be reduced to 1 lane with flaggers to control alternating traffic in many work areas. ITD says that project should be finished by this fall. Garden City Police Chief Corey Stambaugh announced he'll retire this summer after 31 years in law enforcement. He's been chief in Garden City since 2023. In this week's announcement from the city, Garden City Mayor Bill Jacobs announced he's appointed Lieutenant Tyler Dominy to succeed Stambaugh as chief of police. That switch happens officially August 5th. In sports, Boise State men's basketball announced when the first ever Big East Conference opponent will come to Extra Mile Arena this season. Butler will face the Broncos in Boise November 8th. That game is the second in a home-and-home series, which began last year. The Boise Hawks improved to 7-2 last night with a 7-6 win over Modesto. It's the Hawks' 5th straight win. Same 2 teams back at it today through the weekend at Hawks Stadium ahead of the team's first road trip of the season. And Athletic Club Boise will try to snap a 2-game skid on the road tomorrow at Richmond. Kick is 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You can watch the game on subscription service ESPN+. Hey, thanks to all the listeners who joined us for another round at Boise Brewing yesterday. We had a great time with Mountain West News Bureau reporter Murphy Woodhouse. If you want to keep up on what's going on in the community and what we're doing here at Boise State Public Radio, you're going to want to follow the community calendar and subscribe to our newsletter. You can do both those things at our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. I'm Troy Oppie. Hope you have a happy, healthy, and safe weekend. Make it a great one. We'll catch you back here again on Monday.
You know, every day on Up First, NPR's Golden Globe-nominated morning news podcast, we bring you 3 essential stories. At the heart of each story are questions. What really happened? What really mattered? What happens next? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious and to follow the facts. Follow Up First wherever you get your podcasts and start your day knowing what matters and why.